Yeah.
Look at the historic value I have in this.
There you go.
All of there, see, I'll be gentle. All right, it's 6 o'clock, call the meeting to order, regular council meeting, June 5th. Roll call, seeing everyone is in attendance except for Deputy Mayor Ferguson. And she has sent along her regrets. Declaration, if anybody has a conflict of interest, they can declare now. Seeing none. Addition, deletion, or approval of the agenda. We do, is that for closed session?
Those are closed session items, but
Sweet.
council would need to approve it going in.
Okay.
Like council would need to approve as part of the agenda.
So we will have an addition to the minutes, and that is,
Or to the agenda,
or to the agenda.
2 of them.
Is that on everybody's? or
No,
not?
just
So I
on
should read it out.
Yes.
Okay. Contract negotiations and land purchase will be the 2 additions. And I will be looking for a motion to add those and accept the agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, questions on that? Nothing? All those in favor? Contrary? Approved. Approval of the minutes, we'll do as usual, we have 3 of them tonight, I will read all 3 and then I'll be looking for a motion to approve them. Regular council meeting, May 1st, 2024. Also, the rural plan, the public hearing of May 8th, 2024. And committee of the whole, May 15th, 2024. I'll be looking for a motion for those 3. Councilor Thompson moves, second. Councilor Dealey. Questions? Concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? So pass. Presentation to council, number 6, seeing none. Stretch and go to business arising from the minutes, which is the bingo license and 50/50 license. Applications and year-end filings have been submitted to Department of Justice and Public Safety. Anything further?
That was just an information of them.
Okay. No questions? Seeing none. I guess 7, I'm assuming that's, we're off by the numbers, but, so this will be number 8. Numbers will all just move up 1. Department reports, general government. Mayor's report. My minutes or my meetings were attached to your items. I'll just say a couple quick things. In that one, I'd like to welcome, I did, I guess, social media wise, but welcome our new student, full-time employee. Laura Cartwright, has been hired and just.
11 weeks.
She said some 8 weeks, but 11, there, we just bumped it up. So she just started this week on Monday and. I've been here a fair amount, so I got to see her quite a bit this week. And welcome her to the team, and she's doing exceptionally well so far. And hook and paddle. It'll probably be mentioned again, but I just want to say that hook and paddle, just a reminder to everybody that it's this Sunday. So you'll notice an increase in traffic. And so it starts at 8, so probably Sunday morning, people will start arriving 6 or 7 in the morning, I'm being told. And it'll go till about 3 or 4, so I think the ending is 3, but by the time everybody gets going, it'll be probably a little later, so. There will be an increase in traffic. And that is about it, other than all my meetings that are attached, if anybody has any questions. I'll move to councilors' reports. We will scratch Deputy Mayor, Councilor Bent.
I have submitted mine, it is on the website.
Okay.
I did attend both council meetings in May. I attended the bike rodeo at Fundy Shores, which was very well attended, and everybody had a great day. I did take training for crisis intervention management on May 7th and 8th, so I'm part of the RSC 10, or this area's CISM team now as a peer. And they will be presenting at Fire Hall in a minute.
Congratulations.
The deputy mayor did submit a report, it was online.
Okay,
Yeah.
nobody had any questions on that? Any questions for Councilor Ben? Is that everything? Did you have a report for committee or, okay,
No, I've just touched base with Bobby to see if she would attend one and let them know what's going on with all of her activities.
I would mention that too. I think I did the last meeting because Bobby's been here, I believe.
But she was announced at the last.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure, didn't want to leave her out because. All right, Councilor Deely.
Both reports were submitted, rec council, minutes and the word to, list of, meetings and whatnot that I've had, so. So I really have. It's fine.
Any questions? On either report? So I'll scratch that off for your rec committee too, that's. Okay. Councilor Sonia,
I submitted mine online, listing all the meetings I attended. And as far as the tourism committee, Lorraine and I and Linda, are working on the function.
and that'll be coming up in new business. Perfect. All right. Councilor Thompson,
I've submitted both online. As far as the report to the council, I did receive a call from a citizen concerning the safety on the Route 790, which is on the agenda for later. And, they had two asks. Contact more patrols from the RCMP, as well as council could, contact management at Point Patrol and see if there's anything there, like a memo board as to your speed on our roads and children. There's a real concern about children right now. A lot of children crossing the road in the evenings, going to the playground, bikes, going to the store, people walking, and their speed is quite high, and there's been reports of people being passed on solid lines, so. We're really concerned about
I
it.
can touch on
Yep.
that just quickly if you want. I did reach out to management down there
Okay.
and they contacted me right away and they were going to be issuing it as part of their apparently they do messaging every week.
D15 every day.
That was-
I know that happened a few years ago too, right through 790 because of construction, and they did that, they reached out to the people in the plant themselves and sent a message out and kind of brought everything back down to needs.
I think they have it community 15 every day, do they know?
Pretty much.
Yeah, and it's been that way for years.
The tolerance is very low. Their authority outside the gate is not so much.
so on that, and I know it's gonna come up here a little later, but just quickly. I did put the ask out officially to the RCMP, for patrols and for a meeting, a public meeting. So we're waiting for word, I think it's early next week, they're supposed to get back to us.
To set up some dates.
Yeah, and that was to deal, originally it started a couple weeks ago with the break-ins in the river and it kind of escalated.
It's just kind
So-
of been.
So yours has been kind of added to it, so hopefully we can get everything covered in one shot.
Mhm. And as far as crack, I did submit my report on line and as well, they did discuss the bylaw, the rural plan. They had no recommendations for any type of change. They accepted what was presented and said that they were good with it, so. There were no major changes that they recommended after the last time. So
Any questions for Councilor Thompson? On either report? Perfect, thank you. CAO report to council. I know it was submitted.
It was submitted and I don't have anything to add unless there's questions.
Before we get to questions, I'll ask for a motion to accept the report as presented person. Councillor Bent and seconded Councillor Sunday. Questions on the motion? Any questions on the CAO report? Seeing none, all those in favor? Against, seeing none, motion passed. Plan and inspection, both were submitted, I believe.
There was no,
No on
site lead report, but a planning director's report was submitted.
I will look for a motion to accept the planning director's report.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Bent. Questions on the director's report? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carried, or against, I guess, for the record, none, motion carried. Public safety. The fire department report has been submitted as well. I'll ask for a motion first to accept the report,
I'll move this section report.
moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Saunier. Questions on the fire department report for April 2024? See none. All those in favor? Against? Motion carried. Economic development, synergy report. And it was online. Look for a motion to accept the report from Synergy.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Councillor Daly seconded, or seconder, I guess. No fighting, guys. Councillor Bent. Any questions on the report? All those in favor? Against? Seeing none, one.
I know it's something on that. I just realized, finish your
I
theme
will.
then.
Okay, motion's passed.
I need to apologize. I just
Okay.
realized I forgot to add to the agenda, community coordinators report. There was one submitted and I forgot to add it as a departmental report.
I did read it.
It was submitted today, so I
So
apologize.
so everybody had, can I get a motion then? I'll go back and just get a motion to accept the community coordinator report. Because it is a government report. So Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Daly. Any questions on the report?
That's fine.
I was gonna say, who seconded? Heather, that's. So
Did I not? say
you said
something?
Councillor Daly.
Oh, did I?
Mhm.
Oh, see, I'll apologize now too. I thought I said something.
I didn't even notice that.
There we go. Glad we're all right on the ball tonight.
I heard something wrong earlier. We're all good.
See it all balanced out, right? So it has been moved and seconded. Any questions on the report? All those in favor of accepting it? Against, seeing none, we have the coordinated report. Standing committee reports. Economic development, I didn't, was there one submitted?
No, there was no meeting. That was,
Okay,
that was
that
on, they canceled the meeting that was
Okay,
scheduled.
perfect. And there was none for public safety, so all the other ones have been submitted, but what was there? Perfect. Correspondence. We received, which is with your packages, letter from Pratt, an update, I guess, from Pratt. Response to our letter to Canada Post, we received a response back. And I think on that was to get the pictures
And I did, I
and
followed up
send it
with
back
that.
out, so there's already been a follow-up on it. And the ETF project award from Environment and Local Government. And that was it under there. 9B, was there any questions on any of the correspondence that was sent out? No?
Just I do have a question on Canada Post.
Yep.
What was the original letter about?
The original letter was, we were trying to find the local contact for, the community mailboxes on the side of the road where a lot of people would come with concerns about lighting or placement or, sight lines when they're leaving them. So,
Any facts?
yes, yeah.
So I do have a question. Is Canada Post responsible for lighting and
I'm not
Wow.
sure, but safety of the placement of their things, I would assume. I also, in the return. With the pictures and the information, requested a copy of their manual they use for determining location of the community mailboxes. Probably.
And that's, in the initial letter, that was what our intent was to find out. Who is, if they're not in charge, then who is. That's, we just don't wanna start looking after their stuff under public safety.
No, that's because they made the decision. I was around at that time and, they made the decision as to whose mailbox couldn't be stopped on the road, where the boxes were gonna be. It was all done with the 911 project at that time. So that's how long ago it went.
Oh,
When our civic addressing went in, that's when they did the Canada Post.
So I guess, yeah, so that's the determining, if we can
And
figure
there
out who
is
knows
rural-
who does what.
I don't know, I did read your letter, but, I know it used to be, there was a person who looked after rural Canada Post offices.
they gave us the contact and. Oh goodness, they're responsible for discussions with local governments, so. I can't, yes,
All right,
We don't have to pay for it.
no, yes, that's theirs.
any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question about the rural plan response from CRAC. Even though they, in the meeting itself, they sort of inferred that roosters were not outlawed per se. That letter clearly states no roosters.
Yeah, and that's what I found very confusing about it all too. Like 1 minute it was and then it's,
And for some people, we need to have a rooster.
But again, at this,
Chance.
no, and again, just to elaborate a little bit on it, at this point. We appreciate it, but it is just
Yeah.
under advisement, we're not,
Mm.
there's nothing, just so people in the public know that we're not tonight,
No,
yeah.
but I just wanted to bring that up. that-
Yeah, And we took that, and what'll happen, just quickly, we'll get into it again after, but it's. We're gonna take that as part of the package along with the public meeting and everything, put it all together and come up with. With whatever moving forward, so. All right, any other questions on those items? Correspondence issued 9B, I might be off on my numbering because we were set back.
No worries.
Okay. Correspondence issue, we did send a letter, our response back to the heavy industry tax to UMNB, so. It'll be interesting to see going forward where that ends up. Nothing further. Approval of payments, the general government report that was submitted with your package attached. I'll be looking for a motion to accept that approval of payments. Counselor Sonnier, is that right? Counselor Bent seconded it. Questions on the motion? Or the payments, I guess? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion's passed. Approval of payments also for the sewage commission for Thompson subdivision. And again, I'll state a reminder, these payments will be recouped following the reestablishment of the commission. Looking for a motion for $387.04. Moved by Councillor Dearly, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Questions on the motion? Seeing all those in favor? Against? Seeing none, motion's passed. Approval of accounts for the expense report of May 31st, 2024. Looking for a motion to accept that report that was sent. Councillor Sonnier, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Against, motion's passed. New business, 12A. Recreation Committee membership, Councilor Delia has put forth the names of Brenda LeBlanc and Linda Richard to be added to the Recreation Committee, and I will let Councilor Delia speak on that.
So we have, our numbers are down on the recreation committee, as I think was with most committees right now. I do have Brenda LeBlanc and Linda Richard both looking to join the recreation committee. They both live in Fundy Shores, they both, have experience with different recreation programs. One from another province who, has some really good ideas, so we could, look at. And they both seem like they would be very helpful on the committee, and I'd like to recommend to council that we, approve them to be on the committee.
How many,
Have six.
six?
Would that be 6 with these two, or
This
this
would be
will be
eight.
8? Okay.
This would be 8, and the maximum is 12.
Maximum is 12.
Right, so I would be looking for a motion to accept those 2 members of the community to the Recreation Committee. Moved by Councilor Sonia, seconded by Councilor Bent. Any further question on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Against? Congratulations and welcome Brenda LeBlanc and Linda Richard. Eco Tourism Brochure, Councilor Sonia and Councilor Thompson on behalf of the Tourism Committee have prepared the Eco Tourism Brochure, which again was sent out to everybody. First, we'll make the motion or get a motion, I guess, to accept that. Before we move to questions, is that good? You're looking at me, I just didn't know if I was doing something wrong.
No, it's fine.
Have a go.
I will just say, the Regional Service Commission is working on that map on the back of it for us. So,
Okay,
and then the QR code that we want to put on will be one that we have to create, so.
so I'll look for a motion first to accept. Councilor Bent, seconded by
I'll second it.
Councilor Deely. Questions on the motion on the eco tourism brochure?
Just would have been just one little thing to
Yeah.
say. You look at it so many times, you don't know if it looks wrong anymore, like spelling, because you think you're gonna see a word and you see that word even though it's spelled wrong. So if you see anything like that prior to posting it to the internet, I ought to get that feedback, okay?
Do you have this still a draft or are we?
Is it a draft? I would say no, we're trying to finalize it, but we are willing to make changes if they are required, like spelling and adding the map, so.
I would say to look it over. And get it in as quickly, and the reason I say that is I did go through it, and I was actually here one day when they were doing it, and I'm quite pleased with it, and on to both of you for doing a great job on it, and I think it's gonna be a good step in the right direction. We're finally we're seeing some things come to
I was,
get going, and this is part of it, so.
I was very disappointed not very disappointed. I was pleased that the RSC included Fundy Shores on their online tourism thing. But it wasn't what I was hoping to see.
So,
This is all models.
so I'll say again. I like. Congratulations and thank you to you guys for doing the great job that you did, and I think it will.
It was. the
Well,
committee
it was the
and-
committee and again, for you guys bringing it forward, and we'll just let our brochure and our tourism speak for itself, and we'll move forward. Again, good, yes, good job by the committee for getting it. Again, it's been, the people don't understand. I think, the amount of work that each of you, your committees, council, that everybody's doing behind the scenes, that it takes so much work to get to where we are. And now this year and going forward, we're gonna see a lot of things happening, that a lot of work went in last year to get paid off.
About half of our pictures came from one of the committee members of the economic. Committee.
See, teamwork.
Yeah.
It'll all come together, so. So no, that's it's great, and I will also say on it, it's probably one of the best, I think, in a long time, signatures I've had in a while. So I just, we'll just leave it at that because we are live tonight, so, but it was a really good.
Back to that whole signature stamp
It was,
issue, right?
it was a really good signature if we compare, so it's, I was pleased with it. So,
I do have a comment. I absolutely love the colors.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the scheme that was used, very nice. And I think moving forward, this is where we need to look for a logo.
okay, that's a separate topic.
That's such a good.
That will be coming up, so,
Nice.
any questions, any further questions, I guess, on the brochure? Do we have a timeline of if
I
everybody
don't
looks
have a-
after?
I don't have a confirmation on the map yet.
Okay.
I've sent everything. It went out the first of this week, I believe. And I'm hoping like Greg at the Regional Service Commission is usually really quick turnaround on that stuff.
And these will be things not only for online, but we will have
Paper copies.
copies for everybody to pass
But
out.
this also is numbering too. If you'll notice, the brochure is all numbered for the different things that we've listed. And they will be numbered on the map, so we can actually find them.
All right,
Will they be copies at River Beach for all?
Once we get them printed, it will go online before we get the prints.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have it online by the middle of the month if council approves it tonight. And printed shortly thereafter. Like I said, the last little bit is that map. And
Well, you need to find some places to distribute. I think one of those would be cruise ship terminal on the passengers.
Do you have to pay to distribute brochures?
I think there might be just an information thing, or with the city even. Within the city.
Southwest Commission also has, well, there's the Brunswick Tourism.
They have a-
St. Anderson, so on.
and
That would have been in my plan, New River, the bakeries and the Clipper Shop.
I think there's even one in St. Stephen, a tourism
Yeah.
center there.
St. Andrews and things.
and there's also some places like it's, I don't know if this is, but they're good to have like a business card. So there's places that you may stop at a convenience store to use a washroom facility. Or where there's bulletin boards there that many people utilize, that you can stick 2 or 3 up on a bulletin board, that there's no cost and you're probably gonna get just as much.
Yeah, like the
That's
Salisbury
true.
or the.
Right, so there's a lot of places.
Yeah. From Scotia.
That would be my thing, is I would say social media, but if we could get enough copies to plaster them everywhere. All right, so we are looking for a motion, the motion's there, where I guess we're looking for approval from everybody to pass this, so all those in favor? Again, I was gonna say, I hope you two are approving this. If you guys are the 2 nay ones, then we're in trouble already. Anyone against? The motion's carried. 12C, public safety complaints. Not looking for motions or anything on this, I guess it's just the info to go back to the couple things that we spoke about earlier, so I will quickly touch on a couple, as I just did earlier, and then any questions from council on it. As most are aware, we did have over the past 6 weeks, I believe it is, multiple break-ins, 4 to 6, within New River Beach. And I was notified several times on it. I actually went down and met with the park. I met with some other people, concerning it. And rightfully so, many of the community members have had some deep concerns. They've had them before, and I guess that's just kind of
Is it
bubbled up.
mainly that, or are they doing a lot of destruction as well?
Some was destruction, some was steps, so it's mixed. So what I will say on that, because I did post on social media. And I got a lot of good things back, and I did get some other stuff back, so I'm gonna say a couple of things. And One is if, and I can't say for the reasoning or who, but if your cottage, your home, or anything is broken into or something stolen, make sure that you report it to the RCMP. It has to be reported. You have to have a file or case number in order for them to investigate it. I know, it's easy when you're frustrated and say, well, they're not gonna do this, not gonna do that. If you don't call and report and get that file number or case number, then you're right, they're not gonna do nothing. And when you do that and then post on social media about the break-ins and about all of this stuff, it doesn't help the case any at all, and especially for council that may bring it forward, or for myself that speaks with the RCMP on a regular basis because of budgeting and what we pay. That doesn't help our case either. So please report it, and please make sure you get the file number and follow up with them on a regular basis, and again, hold them to account. So I did ask for a public meeting. We are working on it. It is in the works. I will hold it accountable that we do get one. We're working out the timing and the details. And I did put the ask out there of having patrols within Fundy Shores. So I'll also say this to everyone. It is not my goal, never was, never will be, to have RCMP on every corner hounding and bothering people within the community. That's not it. But it is to hold them accountable that we do need patrols in our area. We pay a hefty amount of money. And we deserve that service. And it's no different than the rural plan or anything else. You can't, you're gonna make one group here happy and the other group's not gonna be happy. So when I have senior citizens calling me and messaging me, saying that they're scared to go to bed at night or in a small little village or community, then to me, that's an issue. So I won't tolerate it as a mayor. I didn't think I'd ever get to this to say this, but we have to hold the police that we pay for accountable within our community. And people's safety is my utmost priority, whether it's the younger or the older. They all pay to live here in a safe community. So I guess on that, it ties in with Councillor Thompson's complaints or what was brought forward to as far as speeding on Route 790. That's something that's not new. And I suppose if we all look around, and it's probably on most streets within Fundy Shores. But it comes back to, again, if we had some more regular patrols and something here in the area, then maybe it would be less. I don't want to blame. That's not my role, is to blame a certain group or whatever, or a certain area, because I think, everybody can be held accountable for it. But I think, again, it comes back to, we need some patrols, whether they say we don't or not. We need something on the intern to kind of bring that down. So I guess I went on a little longer than what I should, but I just want people in Fundy Shores and right now it's in the New River Beach area, to know that we as a council are not just gonna let it go to the wayside and forget about it, that we are gonna hold all stakeholders accountable.
In one way, we are very fortunate because we are a rural community and we look out for each other the best we can. And that's a big help. I mean, we need the public safety as well. But
To your point, I guess that was the other piece that I put on social media, is that if you do see anything out of the ordinary, it doesn't mean you have to call the police on every little thing, or every, neighbors should look out for neighbors and get along with their neighbor. But if you see things that are out of the ordinary, and you know what your area is, whether it's Shands Harbor, Prince of Wales, Pokelogan, New River, or anywhere's in between, pretty much day to day what your area is. If you see something out of the ordinary, then certainly call it in, because if the police do not get the call, then it doesn't get marked down. If they get a call every day over the same issues or something, then that's gonna
So
trigger
people
them
should
to
be
come.
calling if file a report if people are speeding and things like that? Should they be?
And for that,
I would, it's not gonna hurt it, I wouldn't call 911.
No,
That's for an
no,
emergency
just-
only, there is a non-emergency number. To call and say, listen, we're having, because if they get that in their Q3, Q4 reports that we get. And if that's listed, that they've had 10 calls from Logan or 10 from New River, then that's going to, you know,
But I think that has to be done within reason on social media after. The break-in, the most recent one, someone saw two people. In the ditch, bearded man in a ditch. So they went home and locked their doors because it was like a paranoia thing. And I think, yeah, that shouldn't have been called in as it was described.
right, and I guess, I can't tell people when or when not to
No.
call. But
Use
I
common
would
sense.
say use your best judgment. You know, if it's way up the road and you live on the other end of the municipality, then it's kind of like it's okay, like it, but I just. I think people need to be more aware for now, just. You know, until we get, whether the patrols or whatever, we hear of, you know, they caught whoever. That did it, yeah, usually it's like if you go to like Utopia, that sort of area. Like the last episodes, it was somebody from not even most of the time within that area, they were coming from outside and, you know, and we are on a #1. Highway of. You know, so there's a lot of things, but I just. I know they were concerned and rightfully so, and again, we made the calls, we sent the letters and we're. Hopefully, and the other thing on that is you have to remember in Fundy Shores is we have two areas. So St. George RCMP, although in an emergency, when you call that, it'll be the closest cars. But policing in general is the St. George RCMP comes up to LaPro and Westfield RCMP comes down to Musquash, Chance Harbor in the old Musquash line.
So the 790 itself coming out. What line does it fall on?
Should be St. George, because it's right on the old
It's,
parish of
if that
LaPro.
actually is the county lot.
So that's right. we
That's
have a
the-
county
From
line,
Point
you
LaPro
have
to
to
the
wonder.
highway is.
They still, St. George
Yeah,
cut off is
that's,
790 or 795 and Chance Harbor Road.
but now according to the NCO's corporals. For Fundy Shores now, they're supposed to be, they're slowly moving it over, is that it'll be between the two, so that doesn't mean that an RCMP. From St. George will come up and sit in LaPro for whatever reason, it could be a Westfield. Because they're supposed to cover the whole municipality of Fundy Shores, so. And again, we're still having trouble getting reporting from the two, because it's still the old RSC 9, RSC 10, so. Yeah, it is, well, we're not gonna just put it to the wayside, we are working on it and it just takes time and. Hopefully, we keep chipping away at it. Nothing on that, hook and paddle. Just as I said earlier, watch for increased traffic on Sunday for the day. There's probably gonna be limited parking out there, and we met with DNR today. And DNR was out there, so they're working this week, to finish up out there to level it the best they can, and again, I appreciate DNR, it's not our road, they're not doing it specifically for hook and paddle, but they were there, and so whatever we can get from them, we're grateful for.
It's hopefully gonna help the cottagers. their
Yeah.
access.
And, you know, we talked to them today, really, you know, very nice, and, you know, they're gonna be around probably Sunday too, so it's. You know, I want everybody to go out and have a good time and be safe, and let's, you know, put our best foot forward the best that we can. And that is it. That I have, unless, so we did. We do have a check, the $750 of our contribution, and McAdam $750, so it was $1,500. And what they're doing is the combined the species that they're getting, the combined points between Fundy Shores and Macadam, and that money will be broke down into a first, second, third prize. And I know, I watched their YouTube Monday night. And Brian mentioned about a couple different things that they had for giveaways for out there. They had some sunglasses, I believe. I think it was the whale watching tickets. Cause Saturday they're gonna be in Hammond River, Wispan. And then Sunday here, so they've got a lot of prizes between the two to give
Are we
away.
offering any kind of services through for that? Look, I noticed, they couldn't get a food truck or something,
Wouldn't,
so there's nothing.
nothing,
food-wise
no.
for
What
them?
about that Nat? He's advertising Nat Rodriguez
Rodriguez Donuts and.
Donuts.
We had nothing on our end. We reached out a little bit and the RSC Sherry did reach out to a couple. I believe food trucks and that, and there's no takers. They are putting the,
Porta potty.
I was just I didn't want to call it,
Oh.
or call it,
Sorry.
porta potty. So they are putting one of those out there and we just had little signs that we had. Look at that, I even got them here stuff. So we do have the signs. I'm gonna be up there at 6 in the morning on Sunday and put them up, so I don't want them to go missing. Saturday night, so we only got the 3 signs coming off the highway, just
To direct them. to-
yeah, so I got some stakes and stuff at the house and I'll go up early and put them up and I'll be up there for most of the day.
You gonna stay while they're on the
Or-
water? Is the water boat going?
Not that we,
I have no idea.
so that was, yeah, so that was the only. The thing is, we had the road cleaned up or the best that it could, the signs to put out the porta potty that RSC looked after, and that was. What was that? And they will be arriving early Sunday morning till Sunday afternoon. And oh, just a quick note, so you can't. Or he said on the YouTube channel that you can't just show up and pay and join. So you have to register in advance for insurance purposes. So yeah, so you have to go online, register and submit everything then for that morning. So. That was everything, unless anybody have further questions. All right. I will be looking for a motion to go into closed session.
Make a motion for the closed.
Moved by Councillor Dealey, second by Councillor Sonia. All those in favor? I'll confirm the meetings and announcement.
Do we want to mention?
Before we go to close. The next meetings, Committee of the Whole is here at the Community Building, June 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. And the regular council meeting will be here at the Community Building, July 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. And any other late announcements that anybody has?